Why large cell carcinoma of the lung is called a diagnosis of exclusion? I'm going to explain it here. Large cell carcinoma is a diagnosis of exclusion because while making a diagnosis of large cell carcinoma, you need to exclude the diagnosis of squamous cell carcinoma, adenocarcinoma, and small cell carcinoma. So basically, large cell carcinoma of the lung is an undifferentiated carcinoma. Carcinoma means it's a cancer arising from the epithelium that does not show any feature of squamous differentiation. Squamous differentiation means a squamous cell carcinoma, anywhere it arises on this planet, they basically show two characteristic features. One is intercellular breach formation. That means between two cancer cells, there would be a breach, like line formation you see actually on the biopsy. And that is basically desmosomes. And second feature, you see keratinization. That is the feature of the squamous cell carcinoma. In adenocarcinoma, you usually see formation of the glandular structure and also mucin formation. So these features would not be seen in the large cell carcinoma. And also in the small cell carcinoma, you see certain characteristic features. Usually the small cell carcinoma of the lung, the cells have very high nucleocytoplasmic ratio. The cells have very scant or little amount of cytoplasm. Usually the nucleus is very hyperchromatic and usually show finely granular chromatin pattern, also known as salt and pepper chromatin pattern. Also, they show extensive necrosis, and usually on the nucleus, there would be absent nucleoli. These are the characteristic feature of the, and nuclear molding can be seen. These are the characteristic feature of the small cell carcinoma. So if I am looking at a biopsy and I do not see any feature of squamous differentiation, squamous cell carcinoma, or the markers, immunochemical markers which are expressed by the squamous cell carcinoma, that is P40, P63, I rule out the possibility of the squamous cell carcinoma of the lung. Then I also rule out the possibility of adenocarcinoma because it is not showing glandular differentiation, not showing mucin formation, not showing the typical marker, immunochemical markers which are expressed by the adenocarcinoma, like TTF1, thyroid transcription factor 1, which is a characteristic marker of pulmonary adenocarcinoma, and also napsin A. These markers are not expressed by them. And also it is not showing any feature of small cell carcinoma. So I had 4 key cancers, carcinomas in my mind when I'm seeing a case of lung cancer or lung carcinoma. One is small cell carcinoma, another is adenocarcinoma, another is squamous cell carcinoma. And the fourth one is large cell carcinoma. And when I rule out all those possibilities, I ruled out the possibility of squamous cell carcinoma, I ruled out the possibility of adenocarcinoma, I ruled out the possibility of small cell carcinoma, then only one thing remains, because other things have already been excluded in the diagnosis, that is large cell carcinoma. And that's why large cell carcinoma is called a diagnosis of exclusion. That is the concept behind this. So large cell carcinoma is an undifferentiated carcinoma arising from the lung, which does not show any squamous differentiation, does not show any glandular differentiation, does not show feature of small cell carcinoma of the lung, and also do not exhibit their markers, particularly the marker of squamous cell and adenocarcinoma, because they need not to be expressed by this cancer. And then the only one thing which remains in the list, because I have crossed out A, I have crossed out B, I have crossed out C, so only the one thing is remaining, that is D. And that's why that D is large cell carcinoma. And that's why large cell carcinoma is considered a diagnosis of exclusion. That is the basic idea.